Hey, Dustin, you've been here for a few coaches now, and I wonder, as you think about it, what it is that distinguishes Andy in terms of how he leads and reaches you guys.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know what you're dealing with. First thing, when he got here, he's going to be thorough. He doesn't leave any stones unturned. He wants to know what you got going on in your life, family life, your work ethic, everything that's going to benefit the team. And, he does his homework. That's apparent with where we're sitting right now and the opportunity that we have in front of us with the new guys that he's brought in from free agency and the draft. And they're the best at that. Brett Veach has a great team. They're scrupulous with their work at the combine. They ask all the right questions, I think. I mean, I'm not there, but when you are able to, start the ship off in the right direction starting in 2013 with a, 9-0 start like that when we were 2-14 and hadn't really won even a preseason game for a couple years. It's a radical change, and I think it's just their thoroughness for seeking out players that want to win and that want to contribute and that enjoy, playing off our fans. A lot of the players that are successful here get in the community first. Obviously, if you see what Ty's doing, Frank, all these guys, if we hear about them first, what they're doing, and then, well, I hope he plays well, and then all of a sudden they're just exploding on the field too. So they definitely have a player in mind when they're recruiting and trying to get guys into Kansas City now.
And when you guys a lot of times will refer to Andy as a player's coach. Can you just elaborate on what that means? I mean, how does he convey that?
Yeah, I think a player's coach means that you treat everybody the same, which is differently, because everybody's different, and he knows, what pulls your strings, what motivates you, and all that stuff. And I think that's what makes him different from not a lot of people that I've had, but what makes him what people say player's coach is because he just knows the terrain. He knows what motivates guys that are in his locker room because he knows you, and he spends that time off the field getting to know you better, and that breeds success because he knows I'm not going to ask anything from that player that player doesn't already knows is coming. And so I think that's just the accountability that he holds with us.
Dustin, how does the schedule help you? Some of your teammates have said having this, these boundaries, this schedule is kind of helping not getting overexcited about a big game that's still far away.
Yeah, everything's the same. We've, no helmets on Wednesdays. We have a hard practice. Sometimes we throw the pads on before week 10 on Thursday. Fast Fridays, the special teams at the beginning. We keep everything the same. And I think, everybody does better with some kind of structure or routine. And so we've maintained that through, we've been doing that for the past couple of years. And so they want us to make sure that we wake up, it doesn't feel like we're in a different game. Our preseason schedule is the same for our regular season as soon as we're out of the dorms. That's the worst. But as soon as you're out of the dorms, they have created a thing where you go, sometimes, and they think of everything logistically too. Sometimes we get on a bus, you go, and you're like, where are we, what hotel are we staying in? They've just taken care of everything. And that goes to all the people that are working under Andy, taking care of travel arrangements, all that stuff. They're wanting us to focus just on the football side of things. What we can control in between the lines.
Dustin, when I say Chiefs history to you, what does that mean, Chiefs history?
Probably a beloved family pulling their roots out of Dallas, Texas, and finding a place on a map that says there's good people there. I think that we can build an NFL team in this city, and then, decades and decades later, watching probably from above his son host an AFC Championship trophy with his name on it.
Dustin, when Andy and Tobe and this group of coaches came in a few years ago, it seemed like you were ready to move on. What did they say to convince you to stick around and sign on again? And who was it? Was it Andy? Was it Tobe? Was it Dorsey? Who was it?
Yeah, I think the people moved on that were here beforehand, and I was getting ready for a Pro Bowl, and Andy just said, he wants to know, just like that, doing his homework. He's like, are you tired of the city? Are you tired of the organization? Where are you at? And I was like, I love football and I love the city. All my kids have been born here, and I want to stay. And so he goes, well, we want you here. Go punt. And he wanted me to punt first before we even had this conversation. And so we had to do it in his order, which is good. He doesn't want any distractions, and that means if I'm punting, let's not get distracted here. You do that first, and then we'll talk. And yeah, so I think that it was fun hearing somebody, instead of feeling like a worker coming to work, just on a conversation, you feel like they want me to be a part of this thing moving forward. And so in 2013, you start saying like, dude, I can't wait to get to work. Like, what are these guys building? And all of a sudden, we're kind of here seeing like, oh, this is crazy. What kind of a turnaround we've had.
Dustin, you had
What
some great.
specifically did he say?
Do what? Say it again.
What specifically did Andy say about the future?
He just said, look, we're gonna try to win championships here. That's why we all play this game, is the trophy. And he'll do this, and it's like what Dick Vermeil said when we first got here. My rookie class here, I'm sure he did it to all the guys that were here before the 4 or 5 years that he was here, is he gave you a card with a Lombardi trophy on it, said this is why we're here. And you get to know each other and refine each other and make each other better in the process. But that was Andy's clear message to me is, well, as a punter, you're thinking like, we're going to actually get Andy Reid to a small market. I mean, I've said that before, but Clark really went out there and went for it all. And that takes a lot of guts for, I guess, whatever you guys want to call it, a second generational owner like that, and siblings to come together and say, this is not a small market. This is a championship market, and let's push it to the limits.
Okay, thanks, guys.